Hello everybody, and it's time to do another video. I have to say something about a lot of the things that I'm seeing on YouTube that are very concerning the election and prophetic voices and all of this. And I want to remind the church that we were not given the sword of the Spirit to kill each other. We're actually supposed to be facing a common enemy, and we really can't fight effectively against an enemy of our souls if we are engaging with trying to shoot each other down. And while I am not saying that there are not views that are specifically problematic for people to hold, and they cause major issues later on in life, I do want to say this, that I don't think that when you get to the gates of heaven, God is going to have a theology quiz. The question is not what did you think, but who did you trust? And that's really it. I mean, if Christ has taken your place, then he's taken your place. And if he's standing there as your advocate, he recognizes that there's going to be some differences of opinion among his followers. He is aware that some people are going to think one thing and some people are going to think something completely opposite. And they're both going to be in the family. That is not to say that everybody who thinks they're Christian is going to heaven. I understand that. Jesus says that. Matter of fact, the indication is that maybe even the majority of people who think they're Christians aren't going to end up there. But we're not helping the situation any by simply attacking people who are claiming to be godly and claiming to hear from God. I would say that the godly thing to do is to do what Mary did when she was visited by the angel, is to keep all these things in your heart, ponder them, take them prayerfully before God. Let him tell you what's true, what's not. We don't need to be bashing each other. We don't need to be fighting each other. All we're doing is giving fuel and energy to the enemy camp. And I would say this, that if you don't like somebody's theology, don't listen to them. If you want to gather yourself with people of like mind, do so. That's really important for you. And it helps you. And I agree with all of that. But I don't think that publicly tearing into each other or making our disagreements on theology in the public sphere is valuable. You want to have those debates inside the church, have them one-on-one, by all means do that. Try to put them up on YouTube for the world to see. First of all, the world is not going to have any spiritual understanding whatsoever, so it's all going to sound like nonsense. It's all going to sound like just disagreement and an ability for them to divide and conquer. And the truth is that our disagreements don't really divide people in the family. We understand that God is going to maybe straighten out our own theology when we get to heaven. And that would be good. I would like to know what I hold that is heresy. I don't know that it's heresy. That's why I think it. But I don't think that my puny little brain has understood everything there is to know about God, or to understand every way in which he works, or can limit him by what I think. I have a bigger view of God's sovereignty than that. I think God can allow us some choices and some interesting situations and have this problem not exist. So you see, my goal is to say that by this shall all men know that you are my disciples and that you have love one for another. So love your fellow Christians, even when you think maybe they're not because of what they think. That's not God's criteria. God's criteria is, who did they trust for their salvation? Who paid the price? And on what basis do they stand there? They don't stand there because they have perfect theology. Nor do you. And I guess that's the point. I love you all. And in this time when we are united, trying to see that God's will be done, especially in our nation, we need to unite and pray and to come before God and to say, put our differences aside. Distances may be more accurate, actually, because sometimes the gulf is pretty big. But the truth is this, that we need each other. We need to see what we see. We need to maybe engage each other in those kinds of arguments, but not in the public sphere. That's just the wrong place. and especially at this time. I love you. I hope you're with me. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.